Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving headfirst, literally, into one of the most delightfully weird stories ever written, Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's a classic tale where, logic pretty much gets thrown right out the window. So let me ask you something right off the bat. What would happen if all the rules of reality just disappeared? I mean, everything you know about how the world is supposed to work, cause and effect, time, how to have a normal conversation, what if it all just went poof? Well, that is exactly where we're going today. All right, so let's get into it. Our story kicks off, as all the best impossible journeys do, with a single curious step. It's time to meet our heroine. So here she is, Alice. Picture this. She's stuck in her world, which is all about stuffy Victorian rules and doing what you're told. She's daydreaming, she's restless, and let's be honest, she's bored out of her mind. She is the perfect candidate for an adventure, even though she has no idea what's coming. And then, suddenly, this frantic little cry cuts right through the sleepy afternoon. This is it. This is the sound that signals the end of everything ordinary and the beginning of something completely absurd. And you have to understand, this isn't just any rabbit. This rabbit is wearing a waistcoat, a little vest, and he's checking a pocket watch, totally stressed about being late. I mean, come on. This is the first real crack in her reality, and Alice, being the curious kid she is, just can't resist. She's off, chasing him right down that rabbit hole without a second thought. So she's left her world behind, and the place she lands, well, it's a place where the fundamental laws of physics are kind of optional. And believe me, things are about to get a whole lot weirder. Her first big challenge isn't some scary monster or a villain. Nope. It's a logic puzzle. Except there's no logic. She's in this huge hall full of locked doors. She finds a tiny key, and she can see this amazing garden through one tiny little door that the key fits, but she's way too big to get through. You'd think there's an easy solution, right? Well, this is Wonderland. Nothing is ever easy. And this is where things get just so frustrating. It perfectly shows you what Wonderland is all about. First, she drinks a potion labeled "Drink Me" and shrinks way down, small enough for the door. Great, but now she's too tiny to reach the key she left on the table. So then she finds a cake that says "Eat Me." She eats it, and whoosh, she grows into a giant, totally trapped in the hall. It's just this endless, maddening cycle of nonsense. And this is where she utters that famous line. She's not really scared or angry yet. She's just completely bewildered, Just astonished at how much weirder everything keeps getting. It's really the perfect summary of her whole experience so far. Okay, so she finally gets out of that hall. But she's about to find out that it's not just the physics of this place that are weird. Oh no, it's the people, or creatures, who live here. I mean, look at this cast of characters she runs into. You've got a caterpillar smoking a hookah, asking her these super deep, philosophical questions about who she even is. Then there's the Cheshire cat, who's always grinning and can literally disappear, and whose advice is questionable at best. And of course, you can't forget the most bonkers duo of all, the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. And then the Cheshire cat drops this iconic line. And it's not just him being weird. He is telling her the one and only role of Wonderland. It's basically the instruction manual for this whole place. And the manual is only one sentence long. This really gets to the heart of the conflict. In our world, time is just a concept. In Wonderland, time is a him, a person you can actually make angry. The Hatter says he murdered time, so now it's always 6 o'clock, always tea time. They ask riddles that have no answers, just to be frustrating. It's the exact opposite of the structured, orderly world Alice came from. So up until now, Wonderland has been mostly weird and confusing. But this place has a dark side. The madness is about to go from just being perplexing to being downright dangerous. And that's because Alice is about to meet the land's tyrannical ruler. So she gets invited to a game of croquet. Sounds normal, right? Wrong. The mallets are live flamingos. The balls are hedgehogs that keep uncurling and running away. The arches are made of card soldiers who just get up and walk off whenever they feel like it. It's total chaos. It's unfair. It's ridiculous. And honestly, it's the perfect metaphor for how the queen rules her kingdom. And this right here, this is her answer to every single problem. You missed your croquet shot? Off with their heads. You disagree with her? Off with their heads. You just kind of annoy her in any way. You guessed it, there's no discussion, no trial, no justice, just pure impulsive rage. And this is the moment where the nonsense stops being funny and starts being genuinely scary. I mean, the Mad Hatter's riddles are frustrating, for sure, but the Queen's tantrums, they're lethal. She is the ultimate embodiment of arbitrary absolute power. So all of this, it's all building to one big climax. And it all happens at a courtroom scene that is, well, it's pretty much the definition of a sham trial. The whole thing climaxes with a trial. The crime? The Knave of Hearts is accused of stealing some tarts. It sounds silly, right? But in this court, the stakes are literally life and death. A trial is supposed to be about justice and order, but here, it's just another stage for Wonderland's madness. Just look at the so-called evidence they present. They call witnesses who literally know nothing about what happened. They read a confusing poem that proves absolutely nothing. The Queen demands a verdict before they've even heard all the evidence, and then she says her most famous line, "Sentence first, verdict afterwards." I mean, it is the absolute peak of irrationality. And then this happens. Alice, who has been shrinking and growing and trying so hard to make sense of everything this whole time, finally has enough. This isn't just a common, it's a rebellion. Right here, in this moment, as she grows back to her full size, Alice realizes something critical. The Queen's power? It's not real. It's an illusion. She's just a playing card with a loud voice. And by finally calling out how absurd it all is, Alice reclaims her own logic. She finds her own voice, and she completely shatters the fear that holds Wonderland together. The card soldiers start to swarm her. Everything is reaching a fever pitch. And then, just like that, she wakes up. The entire terrifying, wonderful, nonsensical world just dissolves, and she's back where she started, safe on the riverbank, with the whole adventure fading away like a dream. Which leaves us with this final, lingering question. Was Alice's adventure really just a fantasy, the product of a sleepy afternoon? Or is Wonderland a place we all visit sometimes? A reflection of the absurd, illogical, and, yeah, sometimes terrifying parts of our own world and our own minds? Something to think about.